Hi, I am Dr. Elizabeth Smith, a Rothschild judge, and there's something I need to go public. There was staff member, or it was a couple of them, who were being kind of hard on me here at well, I'm not there, but at the Pat Handy shelter. And I understood their perspective, so I never complained and I didn't find it grievous. I just understood their perspective. Now, what happened is they are educated, so they understand economics. They afford their own costs of living, and they could not understand why I was staying at the shelter and I didn't make some money. In other words, they're aware that I could have easily gone to the school district to pick up special substitute assignments for various things and made some money to at least have in my pocket and log it into my company because they are intelligent enough to understand business perspectives. So they couldn't understand why I wouldn't do that. And I have to go public to explain that because I am coming to the point where I will be incarcerating persons with penalty for contempting me. I am a judge. And I want to make sure that I clear all of the staff members who were not deliberately contempting me. They really just couldn't understand why I didn't have any money. And then I'm this doctor, I'm this judge. Why don't I at least just go work at the schools? They know I have the PhD in education. And it is because some persons are not registered, and there are some that are registered sex offenders who live at the shelters, male and female shelters, men and women. There are women pedophiles just like there are men pedophiles, child molesters. With all of the activity around me and people following me so closely that they are tabbing me 24/7, I am not about to lead a pedophile into anyone's school district around anyone's kids anyway. So I refrain from going into places where there are it's specifically for children or youth or minors because you know I and I've gone through it before. But I get up in the morning and when I leave the shelter, a whole group of people stalk me the entire day, following me around. If I go to a school to teach, they're going to follow me there. And I'm making some children vulnerable by doing that. So I refuse to do it. And as well, these same persons feel the need to associate to me, act like they know me or act like we're in some sort of uh, acquaintance that would permit them to introduce themselves to others as being associated to me and get to know others. And so they would be targeting parents, unsuspecting parents of children that they are targeting to molest. And I'm not going to be the one to lead them to those children. So I didn't want to really say much because child molesters and pedophiles, they are vain. They like to have a lot of attention. So I didn't want to bring a lot of market attention to it by making a public announcement because what happens is they become introverted and they are likely to molest within their own families and or commit statutory crimes within their own families by incest. And so while they're extroverted and trying to follow me around, as long as I don't go into any places like the school system, then I'm still keeping them at bay and leading them away from their own families. But at the same time, making this public announcement, they see this and become introverted. So I want to raise awareness that when a pedophile becomes introverted, they go full fledged after members of their own family because the kids are easy to access and they're a part of the family. Um, the pedophile case that's going on about the pastor of St. Patrick Catholic Church in Washington, D.C., has brought me to acquiring that property. And so some ladies from the shelter have been going over there to that church and trying to make friends with people for two different reasons. One of them is because they're being lured over there, and the pedophile wants to be introduced to some of the women at the shelter who are trying to get their kids back because they, for whatever reason, had to release custodial authority of their kids, and they're either warded or living with family or something like that in the foster care system or something. And so they're portraying to say they have a social ministry and they'll help people who want to get their kids back, but really they're wanting to associate to them so they can gain access to their kids and molest them. And so some ladies are going over there as well because they're trying to associate to me because they are molesters themselves, and they're trying to associate to me, and they're going over there because they know I'm acquiring that property under the auspice of they're a part of my ministry. But all of my members' names, which there are not any listed, are would be posted on my website. And so that is a way to verify that someone is not a member of my church. Same way about my company. Just go to the site and look up employees on the menu for both of those pages. So it's distressing to have to make this sort of public announcement, but it needs to be said today because of where I am. But that's the reason why I don't go and do something like a special assignment in the school district here or nearby neighboring school districts, because I don't want to lead a pedophile to anyone's kids. And to say about this thing where people are going over to that church, once I acquire the property, I say who comes in now. It is not fully owned by me at this time. I do not have a deed or a title to that property. It is an open acquisition. And some meetings are going to come up where we'll discuss the process by which I will gain access for authority of that property. Until then, it still belongs to the Archdiocese of Washington, D.C., and the organization of control at that property that has rights of premise is St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Once Annunciation Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church takes over that property, then those persons will not be allowed inside. I do have a membership criteria that if you don't meet that criteria, then I refer you somewhere else. It's a universal common. That means what we have in common brings us together. And so according to the demographics of the type of members that I know I can serve, some persons would not be admitted into membership because they don't fit that criteria, but I'm open to referring to other ministries because there are many men and women of God who pastor and can give authoritative interpretation of the word of God as it applies to that person's life according to their demographics, because they know how to serve whatever type of diverse ministerial makeup that would be the content of their congregation. And well, I have a criteria and I'm sticking to it. So that's what's going on about why I don't have any money and why I was putting up with people being condescending without filing them under contempt of a judge. Because I understood that perspective. Why don't I have any money? Because every time I try to get something done, someone is crowding me. So now I'm going to that, and I will be incarcerating persons for that. But until the end time, the book is sealed. Thank you all for listening. Let's keep our children safe. The children are the future. I used to be a child. Now I'm an adult, and I put childish things away. You be blessed.